Hello, Brinkley family, and hopefully future Brinkley family. Nate Goldenberg here. I'm one of the owners of Brinkley. We're talking today about the Brinkley Automotive Seals package. This is one of the areas of the unit that we've innovated to improve the customer experience. Our team is going to go into detail with you on what we're doing, but I'd like to talk about the philosophy behind the innovation, as well as an industry first announcement that we're going to make today. So I'd like to start by explaining kind of the industry norm and then how we've got to where we are today. So industry norm, and I'm talking specifically about seals on the body of the RV as well as the roof. If you purchase a new RV, you can validate this by pulling up owner's manuals on Google. Just go to the maintenance section under seals, but it'll typically say 3 months after delivery, they want you to inspect and reseal the unit. Our issue with this is it's an ongoing maintenance responsibility for the customer. Let me give you an example. Let's say you had a 1-year-old RV. It's still under warranty and you have a leak. You take it to the dealership. By that point, you should have resealed it, 3 and 4 times. And if you haven't, technically the manufacturer could push back and say that it was your responsibility to keep the unit from leaking. That's where the rub is for us. You don't have to reseal your car every 3 months. You surely don't have to go out to your house and reseal it every 3 months. And you don't have to do that on a Brinkley. So we've developed a seals package that is a maintenance-free philosophy, also using materials that last over 20 years. If I could be critical of us, what we haven't done is we haven't backed that up with a warranty much outside the norm. Our current warranty is for a year. If you look in our manual, there is maintenance responsibilities. But today that's changing. So we are actually going to come out with a 3-year seals and gaskets warranty. In the next month, our team will be coming out with new documentation outlining all the updates. The best part about this warranty is it's retroactive to our current Brinkley owners. 3-year seals and gasket warranty, industry first. Now, is our seals package perfect? It's not. We still put it on by hand. There's still opportunity for error, but our failure rate is less than 1%. And we really feel like it's best in the industry, which is why we've decided to stand behind it with the best warranty currently in towable RVs now for seals package. Hopefully you enjoy what you see today. Thank you for your time.
Brendan with Brinkley RV here alongside
Mike Bontrager, Director of Ops.
So there's been a lot of curiosity, a lot of speculation online about how we seal our units here at Brinkley. So today we're going to be pulling back the curtain and explaining in detail everything we do to seal these units watertight. So we're excited to dig in and show you this is something that's never been posted online. So we're excited to tell you all about it.
We're going to show you the why behind everything that we do, the materials that we use, and the application.
All right, Mike, we've both been here since the beginning, but you're going to do a better job at explaining the why as to the reasoning behind us choosing the seals that we did on our Brinkley. So do you want to explain to the viewers a little bit?
Yeah, this is actually something that's super exciting to me still to this day, because I thought it's gonna shake the industry more earlier than what it has, because traditionally you would take cap seal, geo or silicone, and you would seal above every little bag door, every skirt metal, S-lock, everything. And I remember we stood back and we were looking at like warranty data, what plagues the RV industry. And we all know that the caulk, it shrinks and it cracks. Yeah. And we know the units expand and contract. And what happens when the unit expands and contracts? You're going to have caulk voids. Yeah. And so we were looking into this, and I met with Craig and Tyler Nord from 𝗕𝗵𝗆, and we were asking them, is there a better seal? Is there a better caulk that we can use so we know that it's going to stand and you don't have to every spring and fall. I had an RV, and every spring and fall I had to reseal it, knowing that during the winter, if it did have any caulk voids, water probably gets into it. and then what's behind your bag door, what's behind your S-lock, what's behind your skirt metal. If the caulk does crack, it's going to get in the unit, right?
Yeah.
And so we started talking to them, and they were like, we can actually gasket your unit to where you no longer have to cap seal anything with silicone or whatever caulk. Everybody uses something different. And I remember when they started explaining gasketing our units, I remember sitting back laughing saying, the RV industry is not ready for it because everybody wants to see their seal. And there was, they looked at me and they were like, oh, so how many tubes of caulk are on your car? Oh, none, but that's the auto industry. And then they go, hey, how's your transmission and your motor? How are those bolted together? Do they just put silicone around the outside of that? I was like, no, it's gasketed. He goes, why don't you gasket your RV? And I remember, like, as they got into the nuts and bolts of it and explaining the EternaBonds that they use and the science behind their gaskets, I remember sitting back like, I think we can do this. The biggest fear I had was we still have people building RVs and people mess up. Like, there's nobody perfect,
Yeah.
right? And I remember thinking, so if we don't put our tapes on right, there's going to be water intrusion, right? And as we started talking about it more and more, okay, we know caulk is going to crack. Every unit's going to crack, right? Every unit's going to have a seal void.
That's funny you say that. We had an RV at home. It was a motor home, and it had seal voids. We had a DLAM issue, so I attempted to reseal that thing, which was a huge mistake. Mike actually had to come help me. I'm not proud of that, but nonetheless, I'll never do it again. If I do, I'll be recruiting Mike. So.
Yeah. And so, and that's the pain that everybody goes through with their RV, right? Mm-hmm. Every spring, fall, and if it happens during the summer, you're probably on the run and you're not going to reseal it, and then there's water get behind it. And I remember building the first one. It was just a handful of us guys. Yeah. We were building the first one. We'd put a EternaBond here, and the lowest hanging fruit that we could see was behind the S-lock, behind the skirt metal, and putting seals on. And we started like just digging into one piece at a time, and then we would do like an air makeup test, a water test, and we were like passing them, and we quickly discovered, man, this is actually really, really easy. Mm-hmm. Plus it's clean. Plus you don't have to do all the repairs to it. And the more and more we dug into it, we were like, man, this is actually really, really achievable. And then going to Proto 2, we started looking at it. We had different people come in and saying they have the same butyl.
Yeah.
And honestly, you go from a $300 bill of gaskets versus what, $20 in caulk, like, and we started looking at this, and so the Proto 2, we actually started using a different adhesives and stuff to build our second Proto, and we quickly tore it all off and went back to what we originally had from 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆𝗆, because it's premium, it's super costly, but our units are holding up. We're actually, like, you look at the warranty data and stuff, it is holding up. We believe we nailed it. We're confident with what we're doing, and it's clean, and you don't have to repair a bunch of things every spring and fall. And it's now that we're doing it, and trust me, we were all scared going into this.
Yeah.
Like we're no different than anybody that sees our units. Matter of fact, the first couple of units that we shipped, we got warranty claims back that the units didn't have any seal, and some of our dealers were sealing our units, and it's like,
was bad.
Daggum.
Yeah.
And so we actually let all our dealers know that, hey, our units are gasketed from the behind our components, and they're sealed off. Do not seal them. There's no need to seal them, and it's something that has proven. We're super proud of it. Yeah, we're spending all the money, but we do believe we have a different and better RV.
Absolutely. All right, so Mike has now explained the whys. He's going to take you back and show you deeper into the materials itself and how we apply them. I know you don't want to stare at this guy all day long. I'm just kidding. He's handsome, but he'll take it from here.
I want to introduce to you guys Jeremy Mayhem. He's our head of quality and PDI, and Craig, he works for 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆, and he's actually the guy that designed and did a patent on our seal package that we have. And so I'm going to leave it to you guys to get into it and discuss it a little bit more.
Hey, Craig, thanks for coming back out to Brinkley again.
Glad to be here.
So Brinkley advertises our exterior package as our Brinkley Automotive Exterior. And at the core of that is 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗶𝗆 𝗔𝗂𝗃 system. So explain to us a little bit who 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆 is, and then just an intro into the system.
Well, 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆 is a global manufacturer of adhesives and sealants, and 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆 has had a long history in the marketplace, dating back to in the middle 1880s. We're a global presence, and EternaBond is one of our brands, and the DTS system is a design based on the EternaBond technology.
Craig, dive into some of the details of what the DTS system actually is.
Well, the DTS is the 𝗔𝗂𝗃 system, and for Brinkley to achieve its automotive exterior, what we've done is we've focused primarily on the primary seal. And what our theory was is what matters what goes in between the substrate versus what goes over the top. And so we developed a series of gaskets that actually give you the ability to be able to achieve your automotive exterior.
Craig, I've been in the industry for almost 15 years and have seen how the industry has done things in the past. What does this DTS technology do to differentiate itself from what we've done prior to?
So essentially what's happened in the past is you've had a belt and suspenders approach to sealing the exterior of an RV. And that is basically using a hybrid type of butyl product and a liquid sealant to cap over the top of the joints. As a result of that, both those products are fundamentally flawed in that neither one of them is a permanent solution. With the traditional RV butyl, what they do is are highly filled, and there's a lot of additives to take cost out. But when you take cost out of those products, you essentially take performance away as well. So, which affects the basically the ability to seal the unit over a long period of time. The exterior sealants are the same way. They're equally as flawed because the physical properties of your exterior sealants are all kind of have their weaknesses in terms of either gathering dust or they shrink or they fade in UV. So in that sense, both the solutions that traditionally have been offered are equally flawed.
Craig, you've explained the differences in the technicalities of the EternaBond tape, but the DTS system requires much more than that. And Brinkley has adapted the primary gasket with an automotive grade butyl and also the double stick EternaBond into our system. So we have a sample here of the butyl covered foam. Craig, explain to the viewer what this material is and what makes it different.
Well, essentially what we have in this automotive grade butyl encapsulated around a foam gasket. So essentially what you get is you get actually a double effect. The double effect is you can not only get a compressible gasket, but you also get a gasket that has adhesive on it. So not only you get the compression seal, you also get an adhesive seal. And with all the gaskets that the DTS system offers, you get both those characteristics. Not only will you get the compression, you get an adhesive seal, which it's going to give the seal actually a lot more longevity. Essentially, whether you use the encapsulated gasket as this, or you use our double stick, which is basically the EternaBond adhesive, but it's double-sided instead of single-sided, which you're traditionally used to seeing here. Which this is a single-sided tape, essentially with the EternaBond adhesive on the back side. You know, we can cut this to different widths, and this can be cut to different widths the same way. But utilizing all of these technologies and SKUs, you can accommodate all the different applications on the exterior of the RV.
So to recap what we just learned here about 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆 and our system is the typical RVs are going to be built with more of a lower grade RV butyl that requires a topical sealant, often a silicone, to achieve your seal. The catch is, you as the owner, you're going to be required to not only inspect, but reseal multiple times a year just to maintain your warranty coverage. Now those silicones that you're going to use, they're going to shrink, they're going to crack, they're going to yellow when they're exposed to the elements, which isn't a great long-term solution for you as a consumer. Now, Brinkley's are built different. Using the 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝗆𝗆 patented system, which is the 𝗔𝗂𝗃 system, along with the industry's gold standard EternaBond, and also hidden automotive grade gaskets and seals, those are going to give you a double layer of protection, not only providing the compression of the seals, but also the adhesion. Now this automotive grade approach and the materials is more of a permanent solution, meaning you as a customer have little to no maintenance. Craig, thanks a lot for joining us today, sharing some of your expertise on the products and also your DTS system. Really appreciated it.
Well, you know, we're glad to see that the RV industry is starting to embrace the primary seal technology and how Brinkley has utilized the technology far beyond what we thought was even possible. So we're very, very appreciative of that. You know, with the product line being successful in the automotive industry and in commercial construction, it's great to see the transportation industry, RV industry embracing it. And so we're here to help and glad to be here.
Appreciate it. Let's hit the shop floor and see where we use this stuff. Hey guys, here we are out in plant 2, model G line, toy hauler line. So back here in floors, traditionally with your garage floor, your main floor, or your pass-through floors, they're all gonna be built the same. You're gonna have your traditional 𝗕𝗏𝗃 wrapped around your wood structure, and then you're gonna have your linoleum attached to the top of it, just stapled along the perimeter. We've taken some steps beyond that is just an added layer of protection. Here where you have your two floors intersect, your main floor and your garage floor, structurally they're gonna be built differently, but they're gonna be protected the same. So your main floor is still gonna have your 𝗕𝗏𝗃 material, your linoleum is gonna be attached the same. Underneath the floors, we do put this aluminum flashing in here that we attach with double-sided EternaBond. Above your wheel well area, there's a good chance that you're gonna get some road debris, some water, some stones that kick up as these tires are rotating down the road. So we put this in here for protection. We line them up in a certain way that water can't get underneath the section that's towards the back of the unit. But also what we do at the intersection of your floors, your main floor to your garage floor and also your main floor to your pass-through floor, is with this water rising off the tires, we put a layer of protection in here. So we use EternaBond where those outriggers and cross members meet so that no water can penetrate from the bottom up in between our two floor structures. So here on your main floor, when you get into your slide out area, same thing, your 𝗕𝗏𝗃, your flashing, and then we take an extra step above that. So we have 100% lined all of our openings with EternaBond, and this area is crucial. So when you have water inside of a unit, slide out's an easy area that it can get in. So if we were to get water in here, the EternaBond is over all of your fasteners. So if water were to get in, at worst it's gonna be on top of your linoleum, not anywhere near your fasteners. That way water can't penetrate down into your wood structure. Also get past, it can swell, doesn't end up in your floor. Same reason that we protect it on the top, we protect it from the bottom. So as we move up the production line, station by station, we're gonna be adding more layers of protection to these units. So here in shelling, before the sidewalls get set, what we do is we add this piece of 1¼ inch EternaBond. And the reason for that is to protect water from getting underneath your linoleum and on top of your OSB floor material. So be it water from the outside, be it water from the inside, if something were to get spilled, say your kitchen, say your bathroom, anything like that, your garage. If you have water on top of your linoleum, traditionally it could get to your sidewall, and then as it drops down, it can go the least path of resistance, and it's gonna find a spot. So what we've done here is protect it from getting to the areas that can be damaged by water. So here we are in roof set station. Sidewalls are installed. This station, the roof will get set. And it's gonna be hard for you to see here, but what we do in this area, because it's an LP compartment, it's required to have an open bottom of the compartment, is we wrap this entire interior panel with 𝗕𝗏𝗃. 𝗕𝗏𝗃 is a woven water barrier tape that's used in the industry. From the bottom of the upper deck floor to the bottom of your sidewall, it's going to be 100% protected from water with the 𝗕𝗏𝗃 tape. And as you can see, some of our competitors may choose not to protect this at all. And then also all of our other products, the Model Z, the Model Z Air, the Model I, those all have a laminated rear wall. So on the bottom of that wall, underneath your floor, there's exposed Azdel interior wallboard. So what we do is we wrap that entire area, anything that would be exposed to the elements, we wrap all of that with 𝗕𝗏𝗃. So hard to see here, but just note the rear wall is done the exact same way. So here we are at the production line again. In this group, what we're gonna do is primarily enclose the unit. So baggage doors, entry doors, S-lock or belt rail, skirt metal. We're gonna install the roof membrane, but we're gonna start here at the belt rail area. So what we do compared to industry standard or norm is we use EternaBond here instead of 𝗕𝗏𝗃 tape. So one step again above, and when we install this, we're gonna treat it like we do a shingled roof. We're gonna start at the bottom, we're gonna add the next layer that's gonna be overlapping it so that just like a roof, water always onto the next panel. There's a couple key things that we have to do in every station where there's EternaBond, and you're gonna find it in any of the plants. If there's an application of EternaBond, close near there's gonna be an alcohol to clean the surface, a rag obviously to take care of cleaning surfaces as well, and then also a pressure roller. With the EternaBond, it's a great material, but it's only as good as how we apply it. in a traditional RV plant, what you're going to find is 3, maybe 4 QCs along the production process. And we're doing things a little bit different here at Brinkley. So our group leaders don't have tool belts. They spend their time in the group, not up the line doing repairs. That way they can easily manage their groups, but also be in control of the quality. They're verifying processes. They're inspecting every single unit. And that gives us the ability to inspect the things that are covered up down the line that traditional QC 6, 8, 10 stations from here can't see any of this stuff because it's all covered. So after we install our EternaBond, what we're going to do is our S-lock. So traditionally when an S-lock or belt rail is installed onto the unit, it's going to be placed on the unit, and then screws or staples are going to be placed to fasten it. What we found through trial and error is 8 to 12 inches is the proper spacing for our S-lock and belt rail. We use rivets to attach it in place of using either screws or staples. So here we are up the line again, slide outs area. So as you can see, everything that was done in the previous group is all completed. So you have your sidewall, your decals, your S-lock or your belt rail, and your skirt metal showing here. Your slide wipes are all done, entrance doors are installed. So we got this whole area, the exterior, pretty much closed up. What you're gonna find here is an area where a traditional QC would start inspecting. In this area, they can't see if anything is applied incorrectly or needs to be redone. It's all covered up just as the customer would see it as they receive it. If we could pull back the layers and show you everything that is behind here, here's kind of like a model of what we have. So you have your aluminum structure from your sidewall. You have your EternaBond. You have your double stick EternaBond that's on the back of your S-lock. And then in addition to that, we add another layer of EternaBond over our rivets. So underneath this skirt metal, we're gonna have rivets every 8 to 12 inches along the length of the S-lock or the belt rail. And then we will add this tape. So on the back side of our skirt metal, we're gonna have also a double stick tape here. And so when this is installed, that can be used as a seal and also an adhesive to hold your S-lock in place. So in this area of the S-lock where we install our baggage doors, we tuck our S-lock in behind our baggage doors to prevent any sharp edges or anything like that. So what we do here is we install 1 1/4 inch EternaBond over the S-lock area. And what that does is allow any water that were to travel along the S-lock reach a barrier where it can no longer go any farther. It has to be forced down. So here we are in offline slide outs. In this group, what we're gonna do is build your slide boxes. We're gonna install cabinets. We're gonna install appliances. We're gonna install some of your exterior fascias. But what we're gonna do first, after the box is built, is we're gonna install our primary seals, which is your EternaBond tape. So on this box in particular, you're gonna see that the entirety of the joints of where our end walls, our plug walls, and our ceiling all are mated together. It's going to be 100% wrapped in EternaBond. Also in our corners, it's going to be triple overlapped. So this piece that runs along your end wall, the piece that runs along your plug wall, and also the piece that runs vertical where your plug wall and end wall meet, these are all going to overlap in the top corner. We're not going to stop one short so we don't have any inconsistencies. We're going to overlap them all. That way we know for sure that we've got good protection in that corner area. The slide box compared to the main box of the unit are structurally built the same, also sealed the same. So we get to the main part of the unit, you're gonna find the same thing. Our EternaBonds along the roof line, along the rear line, or the rear wall, front cap, everything is gonna be 100% sealed with EternaBond. So this will all essentially look the same. And then what we're gonna have is at rubber roof install, it'll be applied onto the top. Where it overhangs on your slide box here, you have a rail to secure your rubber roof. But underneath that rubber roof to your end wall is gonna be a strip of double stick tape. Again, what that's gonna do is water can do some crazy things and it can't ever get up between your rubber roof and your roof board. So a lot like we do the linoleum back in floors where we protect anything from getting below the linoleum and on top of the wood, we're doing the same thing here with our rubber roof. We're protecting it from getting underneath the membrane and on top of the wood structure that is your ceiling. Any EternaBond that's installed in slide outs is going to be installed the same way it does anywhere else in the production facility. So we're going to clean the surface with alcohol and a rag, and then we're going to apply our tape, and we're going to use a pressure roller to ensure that it's a solid bond. So also when we install the tapes on our slide outs, we use a jig to mark our boxes so that we can verify that our placement of our tapes is in the correct location. And the reason that that's important is because we have fasteners that are going to go all along these areas that are sealed. So we have them up to our jig lines. We can 100% guarantee that our fasteners are all going to pass through the EternaBond. So here you can see our jig line for where we place our tapes. Two things that this accomplishes. One, we can guarantee that all of our fasteners are going to go through it. And two, we know that our primary seal, in this case EternaBond, isn't going to stick past any of our attachments. Our baggage doors, entrance doors, and windows are all going to be sealed using the same material. So what we use here is a primary gasket with automotive grade butyl, and we wrap the entirety of our doors, windows, and baggage doors with them. So if we ever were to have a seam in the seal, we put it on the bottom of the door so that any overlap can't allow water to get in. This primary foam gasket with automotive grade butyl is the same material that Ford used to secure their rear windows on their trucks for over 10 years. Now this gasket provides two different ways of sealing. The first one is going to be the butyl adherence to our fiberglass sidewalls, but also the compression of the foam itself. So here we are after the roof is installed, and what you can't see here is a lot of redundancy and layers of protection. Starting from the base up, you're going to have the entirety of your roof outline. It's going to be 2.5-inch EternaBond wrapped all the way around. You're going to have your rubber roof. You're going to have a layer of double stick on the side that protects, or that's between your rubber roof and your fiberglass sidewall. You're going to have your rails are down, your self-level, your alpha non-sag, your 𝗕𝗿𝗶𝘆 2300, and then underneath your rails, you're going to have your primary gasket with your automotive grade butyl in it. If we were to peel back the layers here at your roof membrane, what you're going to find is your first primary seal, which is your 2.5-inch EternaBond. And on top of that, you're going to have a layer of double stick that goes between your rubber roof and your fiberglass sidewall. Then on top of your rubber roof, you're going to have a layer of the automotive grade butyl that your rail is installed on top of. So your gutter rail, when that's secured, those screws are going to pass through a layer of the automotive grade butyl, your rubber roof, your double stick EternaBond, and then your primary seal, which is your EternaBond. Once your screws are installed, we will install a screw cover that's going to go the length of your gutter rail. And then on top of that, to finish it off, will be a application of the alpha non-sag. This is our SealTech machine, or some people call it an air makeup machine. And what this does is it draws air inside of our unit through the max air fan and creates positive air pressure inside of the unit. On the outside of the unit, as this is running, what we're going to do is we're going to take soap and water and spray it on the outside of the unit, anywhere where there's rails, windows, baggage doors, roof line, essentially anywhere that we have a primary seal that you have seen throughout the line. We are able to properly verify that the seal package is working as designed when we do not find any air bubbles in the soap water on the outside of the unit. By the off chance that there is a leak in a unit, a couple of things are going to happen. One, it's going to be either repaired by a small adjustment, or parts and pieces and moldings may need to be removed, have the primary seal inspected, perhaps replaced, and then those parts attached to the unit again. Once those parts are attached, they're going to be retested. Every unit before it leaves the station is 100% verified to not have any leaks. We do every single unit where some of our competitors are maybe only going to do one per day. It's been my pleasure to walk you guys through the plant here. Next, you're going to hear from Nate Goldenberg, one of our 5 owners here at Brinkley RV.
Hey everybody, Nate Goldenberg here. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you could see the value in it. We really tried to take the time to go in depth enough that you could really see behind the curtain and understand what we're doing. You know, when you look at the price tag on a Brinkley, you don't always understand what all goes into it. And, you know, in addition to the significant increase in material, this seals package that we do on all of our units takes a lot of time. And it's a lot of extra steps that our competitors don't do. And it's something that we're really passionate about. It's one of the areas of the unit that we really wanted to innovate. And it took a lot of effort and a lot of resources. I will say our warranty is tracking less than 1%. It's 96 out of about 11,000 units we've had a failure. And I would say in most cases it was probably an application issue. We're not perfect. We make mistakes every day. We make product mistakes. We handle situations wrong. But please know where our heart is, and we're going to clean it up. We're going to stand behind you, and that's where the manufacturer of the unit. That's when it really matters. Who's standing behind it? Okay, this happened. Are they going to make it right? And I think more times than not, if you call us, you're going to realize that we're quick to make it right for you. If you do have an issue with your unit, feel free to contact us in customer care. We typically answer the phones in under a minute. If you're a prospective customer and you're just interested in how things are coming together, or you have some concerns or a bad experience from the past, give us a call. We're available in customer care. Also, inside sales is readily available. And I just wanted to thank you for your time and your interest in Brinkley. All the best.